Okay, so this is a follow-up video. It's a stand-alone video, and basically I'm showing how to work with Adobe After Effects and setting up your um, your render sequence. You're from your render layers, right? So boom, 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 and a couple other things, little transitions, super simple but highly effective, right? Very simple but effective, as well as uh, time remapping, as well as um, what do you call that? Interpret footage, main. Okay, so a couple of things. And first thing I want to do is I'm going to show the animation with the little extra goodies I put in. So yeah, so that's with the goodies. All right, so I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna destroy everything. Bye bye. Start fresh. And everything is, oh, let me set this uh, back to default. I'll talk about that after. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double click. I got here my alphabet renders. Obviously these are not alphabet, but I just named it that um, because this is for regarding mainly the alphabet project. But this works for any freaking project anyway, so it doesn't matter. I got here my shot, right? Uh, Ignore this. Render layer 1, shot 1, right? 001. Ignore this too, where it says shot 1 underscore 1. It's just some abbreviation or something from the render layers. I couldn't figure out how to get rid of that underscore 1, but it's nothing where it's gonna screw up your sequence. Main thing is everything's in order. 001. I got here shot 1, right? And you notice here's shot 2 underscore 1, right? So the naming convention is still stable. Nothing has been compromised. See here, it starts here, goes up to here, right? Everything's compromised. Not everything is okay. Shot 3 underscore 1, starting on frame 39, ends at here. Okay. So I'll grab this TIFF sequence, right? That's it. You don't have to make a composition, and I'm just gonna hit make sure this is checked on. Import as footage, enter, boom. Okay. You'll notice over here, it's not 1920 by 1080. I made a smaller render sequence so I can render out quickly. And the quality is the default settings for the camera anti-alias AA. So, yeah. So I grab it, right? You notice here, frame rate is set to 30. Depending on how you have After Effects set up, I think the default is 30. But all you gotta do is just grab this, check in here, right? It's 30, but it should be 24 frames per second. I'm gonna right click on it, interpret footage, main, okay? And you'll notice here, you just type out 24. That's it. Leave everything else alone. Okay. Now you notice 24 frames per second. Then I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna chuck it down here. Alright. But you'll notice something. It only plays from here to here. we don't see the other stuff, the other sequences, right? So if you're still kind of not the best at all this After Effects and Maya render sequence, all of that, this might make you panic. All you gotta do is double click again, right? Because it did not import this. This is another sequence altogether. See here, shot render layer 2, shot 2. See? There's a break in the sequence, which is good. It's supposed to be like this. Now I'm gonna I select the first one. I have this TIFF selected. I have footage. Boom. It's still set to 30. I'm gonna right click, interpret footage, main, 24. I can see 24. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna throw it on top. There it is. But you notice it's too short on my timeline. All you gotta do, select this guy. This is your composition. See the icon? This is this. Okay. Right click, composition settings. And this is a composition which is this guy right here. This timeline, that's the name here. I'm gonna rename it to main comp. Right, you could even name it like, I don't know, alphabet main comp, whatever the hell you want. Alright, so start frame 0, duration, I'll just put it to like 85. It all depends on however long your animation is. Yours is gonna be what, 240? You might want some frame padding at the beginning and the end. You might want to make it like 260, you know, like 10 frames padding at the beginning, 10 frames padding at the end. You know, it allows for a fade in and fade out, stuff like that, or static holds, whatever. So you want to add 10 frames before and after. For me, mine ends at 67, so it should be 77 and 87. But you know, don't just copy whatever the hell I'm doing. Just think about your scene too. And then okay. Here, if I hold Alt and I middle mouse scroll, you notice Alt middle mouse scroll drags it out. I'm gonna grab this, shot 2, shot 1, shot 2, drag it over. See? Next, double click in here again. I'm gonna go to shot 3. Well, TIFF sequence, footage, double click, bam, here we are. It's still set to 30, right click, interpret main, 24. Interpret footage. There we go. Grab it, chuck it on top, just like in Photoshop. This is a layer-based system. Grab it, hold Shift, snap it. Right. So grab this, this, and this. Chuck it over like this. Give it some frame padding. Yeah. Let's play it. Spacebar. There you have it. Alright, and if the little extra goodies, I want to have frame padding, right? So I can select this layer, I can right click on it, time, enable time mapping. It has a little diamond. The diamond tells us that this is where it originally starts, this is where it originally ends. All I'm gonna do, as you can see here, I can see here, you see this? Click it, drag it, snap it, hold Shift and snap. See, now I have a static hold. Okay. Then I notice I have some room over here, and I'll leave that alone for now. And then here, right? Let's say if I wanted to fade it in, right? I can grab this, press T as in Tom. That's my opacity for shot 2. I'm gonna click on this. This is a stopwatch keyframe. This sets a keyframe for my opacity. Right? T for opacity. A lot of people say T for transparency, so that's basically what that is. I'm gonna crank this down to 0, right? I'm gonna go hold control, or I'm just gonna drag it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames, right? I'm gonna click outside so nothing is selected, right? Make sure this is not blue. Opacity, crank it to 100, right? What I'm gonna do is grab this. I'm gonna just slide it over. See this? Let's play it. Maybe I'll just move it 1 frame forward, right? But you notice here, see how it got dark? That's because this guy is still at 80%. That's why it looks darker. Over here, this one is still at 100 in terms of visibility, right? And then boom, now it got dark. Basically, all I gotta do is just grab this. Maybe I'll chuck it over like that, so you can still see some of the frame blending, or not. Right, I'm gonna undo that. What I'm gonna do is just grab this, right? Chuck it, so it turns to 100% sooner. I don't like that overlap. See this? So what I'm gonna do is just do that. Then I'm gonna grab this keyframe. There. Maybe I need to make it. I thought I could get away with that. Alright, that works. So I can only get away with what? 1, 2? Just 2 frames fade? That works. Anyway, then this one over here, I'm gonna drag it like this. This guy. Press T. I'm gonna set keyframe opacity. Right, I'm gonna set to 0. Right. What you're seeing here is this frame. I'm gonna slide it, set to 100. There you go. Let's play it. Nice. See, even though it's very subtle, it works. You know, it still leaves that residual, residual afterthought of the previous movement overlapping with the new movement, so it blends nicely. Over here, not so much, right? Just 1 frame actually, maybe 2. Yeah. Then this one, right? I want to have a static hold. So right click on it, time. I can either do enable time remapping, or I could just do freeze on last frame. And this is telling us that this is where it originally finishes, and this is just static hold. So I can grab all of it, press M to close it, M as in Mary. Then I can just drag it a bit, like so. U is to show the keyframes, U as in umbrella. So I have this much static hold. This here, I'll grab it. There you have it. Then here, I can make a, I can press, well, I could make a fade in and fade out. All I gotta do is basically right click here, new, solid, give it a black solid, right? And I can grab from here, I can drag it like that. I can press T, right? T for opacity, keyframe at 100. Here, I can click outside, make sure this is not blue, drag it down to 0. Right? See? Super simple. And I can make a copy of this, Control D as in David. Again, drag this over. Press U as in umbrella, shows the keyframe. Here, I want to set this to 0. 0. I'll go to here, grab that keyframe, set this to 100. But you notice you still see this. All you gotta do, drag that over, because the footage is cut off basically. See? And there you go. So that's what, 18 minutes. Anyway, so that's how you do all that. These are extra little goodies knowing about the time remapping. I teach this in the motion graphics class, right? It can be very useful in a pinch, especially like this. And here's generic little fade in, fade out. Then you could add a vignette if you wanted. Should I show that? I could show vignette. I mean, it's 18 minutes. Yeah, you know what? I'll show vignette. Why not, right? Oh, by the way, I have motion blur. It's a little extra goodie that I showed in my other video tutorial about the render layers and render sequence. I put it in there. So hopefully students watched it so you can pick this up. It's an extra little goodie and super easy to do. Not only that, but it also tells me who watched the videos or not. And I'm gonna add right click here, new adjustment layer. Basically this adjustment layer, it's it fills up everything. This footage bar will influence this, and this. It will influence all of that. Right now, this adjustment layer is empty. There's nothing in here. It's just a static holder, not like a static container. And here I'm gonna type in CC VI CC vignette effects and presets. There, I just added vignette. CC vignette, this is my effects control. Usually it's over here, right? Usually. But I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna drag it here. Effects controls. It's kinda, it makes it look dirty. So what you could do is the mount, maybe like this much, angle of view, right? Maybe this much, the mount. Okay, so this is the center, which is right here. Pin highlight. You could mess around with that a bit, but it still looks hella dirty, right? The CC vignette is it's kind of garbage, but you could just add an exposure. Right, exposure, and then right here. Sorry, I just added exposure. It's gonna clean things up a bit, but still allow you to have your vignette. See? Yeah, I'm not messing with that. Oh, over here, one last thing. Click that. 16. That's just your this has to do with color, your color range. That's the reason why in Maya I mentioned to set to 16, INT 16. It's a range of colors and whatnot that can be picked up and made to use. Anyway, so this here exposure, right? If I turn it off, turn it on, see, brings it back more gamma correction, and gamma's more kind of washes it out. Oh shit! Set it to 1. All right, so on close and close, here's the before and after. I'm gonna undo it. This is what it looks like now. After. Then the vignette, the amount I could lower it like that, maybe. Angle of view, something like that, maybe. Pin highlight. So off. On. Alright, there's better vignettes that can be done, but this is the quick and dirty way. I'm gonna play it. Here, play it. So there you go. So that's 24 minutes. Alright, and then to render out, right, you go composition. You could either take it to Adobe Media Encoder or add render queue. Render queue. It says to H.264, click it. So H.264, format options, click it. And basically, all this stuff. So I decided I just like to jack this up, you know, to like 50. Well, it won't let me. There's times you can let you. Oh, software. I have a Ryzen CPU, so it doesn't do hardware, purely software. If you have an Intel, you can do hardware with their integrated graphics. Blah blah blah. Set this to 50. Hey, they should be able to allow me to change this. That's so strange. I used to crank this up to be a higher number. That's weird. CBR? No. That is so weird. Anyway, so I guess 20 is okay. Or you could just do to get better results. Typically, so this will work, right? The quality, it's not gonna be the greatest. H.264 is gonna lose some quality anyway, but I know for a fact this could be set to like, at least 30, maybe in Adobe Media Encoder, but whichever. But the better choice is to go in here and the format, choose QuickTime, right? Apple ProRes 422. You click on the format options, make sure you set the QuickTime. This codec, right, it's a much better quality than the H.264, which is here, right? You could do HQ, right, or you could do LT. I think HQ is the best version. 4.2 is just your. Let me look at 422. Right, nothing here changed. But the quality is definitely much better, but then the size is gonna be a lot bigger too. But yeah, you could do that. Hit okay, whichever. If the H.264 looks like garbage, you can do ProRes. I'm pretty sure SyncSketch, it will take in ProRes codecs. Right. QuickTime, ProRes, or H.264. Oh, look at that! Now it changed. See, 50 megabytes per second. Must be a glitch. Right, it's a glitch. See, you can do that. 50 is the maximum. Yeah, 50. So this will prevent your, if you have any, like a lot of textures, you got a lot of pixel movement and blurs and a whole lot of, like, especially motion graphics. If you crank this to 50, it will help to negate that muddy look, right? It's a different story when you throw this into like YouTube and it's encoding algorithm, whatever, right? But for us, just set it to 50, man. We're good. Okay. Then you hit OK and render it out. And that's it. And then you dump into your SyncSketch. And then if you want your master file uncompressed, right, you go to, like I said, QuickTime, ProRes 422, and you're good. So those are your two options, whichever. ProRes is a better version. Yeah. I think I'll leave it like that then. Alright, bye.